I got just the thing I want to break out here and start tearing down on the table. I was thinking big and bulky, so I have this. Thing's a monster, so let's get that off the table first. Now it looks like the drivers and everything has all been pulled out already. Really all I see that needs to happen is to break this glass out of there and throw it in cast aluminum. Go around and test to see if anything's magnetic. That's all cast aluminum. It's plastic. This might be easier than I thought. Just peel the majority of it away. That one popped clean completely. That's good. That's all cast aluminum. That's crazy. See if we can just slide it right down that bag. Oy. You know, you probably got a piece of steel right there and everything, but really, if that's about the only piece that's in there besides what's wrapped around that light bulb, that's cast aluminum enough right there. For me anyways, it is. Some yards might want it cleaner than that. All right, let's pop these all off. These centers are like caps, so we'll find out what's underneath of them now. All right, what do we got in there? Not quite sure what that holds. Okay. All right, that did something. Looks like we can fidget with those. Pull that out of there. Okay. Bunch of wires on the inside. All right. This looks like it's all aluminum, this thing here. And cast aluminum actually, but I'm thinking about just scrapping that the way it is. Unless that's tin shred. It is. Okay. We'll have to scrap those down a little bit more. But let's pull them all apart and get the next steps going here. All right, so that's aluminum. Pretty sure it's going to be sheet aluminum. Yeah, so that's sheet. have a pile of ballasts and a pile of these to tear down a little bit further. All right, we got all those can lights done besides those three right there. We're gonna take these down a little bit further. So that'll be sheet aluminum, and then this piece should be cast aluminum after I get it somewhat cleaner than what it is now. I just need a star bit, and that would clean that up just enough. I like that. Might be that one. Yeah. Pop those out, and I mean, that can go as cast aluminum right there. As it is. Should be just fine. Yeah. Sweet. My honest opinion, they weren't too bad to do. Hey, what happened? We're gonna do these though. These literally don't feel like there's anything in them, hardly. There's like a ballast driver in each one, and it looks like they come apart super easy. I like that. 3 screws on top. Four screws on top. That pops right out clean. That's pretty cool. So these are just ready to go now. Sheet aluminum. I'm gonna throw them right there just for right now. Okay. I don't know how those come apart. Oh, yeah, I see. It's kind of weird. That needs to come up off of there, this cap. And that reveals 2 screws, and it'll pop that piece off of there. Okay. These might be a different story. They don't look like they take any bits required to take all the stuff apart. The only time consuming part that I see is there's lots of wire ends on here. I could turn into a pain in the butt. I want to weigh this bit of wire and see what that came out to. Okay, we got 1 pound. That was 1 pound of wire. That's like $2. $2 and something cents. The 15 minutes it took me to clip all those ends just told me right then and there that definitely wasn't worth it. Wasn't. It's a pound of machine wire. Now, for future reference, I run the stuff like this. I usually throw it behind the pop cans right here. Let me show you. This is the crap that I'm talking about. I would much rather sell this as wiring harness for $1 a pound and save me the time of clipping all these little tiny little pieces and ends off, taking 15 minutes plus to clean up a little bit like that to get 1 pound of wire, of machine wire price. I'd rather scrap it the way it is, take the $1 and save my 15 minutes into something way more valuable than this. So I always throw that stuff behind the pop cans right there. And when it builds up, I sell it as wiring harness. It's basically what it is, you know? So, that's why I do that. Sometimes little stuff isn't worth it. You know, that stuff's gonna go to somebody with a machine or a big old hammer mill or something or another, and it's gonna process this wire faster than you ever could. So why upgrade it? Why not sell it on to the next person that knows how to do it, how to process it in a big volume? Let's just say that. This stuff's so small, to me, it's not even worth running through a granulator. I'd rather not. No. Anyways. Yeah, this stuff is wiring harness next time. Those were all the light fixtures. That's what we did. Tomorrow's Wednesday, by the way. So we got to get back out into the concrete jungle, and I got to get out there early too. So that was my game plan for tomorrow. Now the cable guy or the internet guy that's supposed to come do the hookups, he's supposed to be here today. Well, he rescheduled for tomorrow, so we'll see how all that pans out. But my plan tomorrow was to actually get a scrap run in early, and then prepare for the concrete jungle early and just have a shorter video of a scrapyard trip. Now that plan might have just gotten hindered because I'm waiting on the internet guy, because he wasn't here when he was supposed to be here, that's for sure. Mason's been barking his head off back there for the past hour. I'm gonna go see what he's barking at. And I got him a squeak ball, so he should be able to do the squeaker at the schools. It's starting to rain. Been waiting on the internet guy to get here. He hasn't showed up yet. I think it's dang near well past 12 o'clock, so I'm gonna give him a call and see what the heck's going on. And then we're gonna get some more stuff up on the bench and keep scrapping. I think it's the smartest thing I can do right now. Scrap as much as I can to get ahead. Because I mean, I can always load and go. I got a lot of that stuff ready over there. But I want to keep getting stuff ready is the main part. Okay. All right. We'll be back in a bit. I was back here scrapping at the workbench, and I started looking at the time, and I'm like, hey, this guy should be here anytime to hook up my internet. And so happens he was an hour and a half late, so I go and call the internet provider, and they just gave you some blah 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 whatever story, and they're gonna have to reschedule for tomorrow. So, you know, I was here scrapping and waiting for this guy to get here, and now I had plans tomorrow to make a scrap run, and he's gonna be here tomorrow from 8 to 12. So I don't know if he's actually gonna show up or whatever the case is, but either way, what I'm saying is he didn't show up. You know, I don't get it. They buried the line. They got all that stuff done quick, and now it's a big waiting game, I guess. Whatever. Anyways, I need to go to the store and get a rotisserie chicken for me and Mason boy. We're gonna have lunch, and then I'm gonna get right back out here and fill that bench up again. Keep going. Probably gonna be everything in this basket's next. Okay, and then everything in those boxes, and then I want to tear that thing apart and then work on that. That'd be freaking sweet if I could get to that point. That would be sweet. All right, I gotta go get food. I'm hungry. Me and Mason are hungry, and Mason rolled in poop today. He did this thing. You rolled in poop, and I had to wash him. You're not supposed to roll in poop. Holy guacamole. It's a pretty hot burning fire, man. I got a bunch of fire extinguishers, so if it gets out of control, you know, it's okay. Okay. I got Ogery F11 camping fan that can fan the flame too, see? Whoa, whoa, holy smokes. It actually did work from there. Oh, wow. Look at that. Look at how much more hotter it burns with Ogery blowing on it. Holy smokes. Good job, Ogery. Ramrod. Come on, Ogery. Fan that flame for me, baby. Oh, yeah. Nice. There you go. That's some good action for you. Look at how good that fan fans that flame right there. There, no more smoky smoke. Good job, Ogery. Got over half that cardboard burnt up already. Not bad. Alright, I gotta get Ogery and the other SD card in there so I can start editing the next video for tonight, so I gotta get going. We're burning cardboard, okay?